팀 경기장 도시형.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Daybreak, and here in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have our red Zerg player, a new representative of the team FX Open Esports. That is Leenock. And his opponent down here in the bottom left-hand corner, our blue Terran player, and a guy who has taken one game already. It is NSHoSeo's.Jjakji. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a GSL Code S finals rematch on our hands, and we're going to see just how big of a grudge match this actually is. Don't forget, we've had a patch since these two have last popped up in a major,
That's true.
In a major match.
And that patch could have major implications into the late game as well after the Ghost nerf. So we might get to see like Jjakji try something a little bit different in late game TVZ if it gets to that point. And most likely it will. I mean, Jjakji does like to be aggressive during the mid game as we've seen. But Leenock playing such a heavy 2-base style is generally very good against defending those types of pushes here. So that usually results in quite a few late game ZVTs for Leenock at least. And Jjakji has shown as well that he is definitely capable of playing into a late game situation. So I'm curious to see how he's going to handle that Ghost nerf, if he's just going to make Ghosts anyway like we've seen people do, or if he's going to add on a lot of Ravens like we've seen some Terran players start to try as well.
Well, also, if it is a good old-fashioned Leenock match, we'll have the 2-base play. And we're also going to have, as he's diligently checking around for some barracks that are built not inside of the Bane, but burrowed Banelings everywhere. Banelings.
Oh, yeah, man.
Banelings everywhere.
Which is tons of fun.
Yes, it is,
Except
actually.
For the people on top of them. It's fun for us. Fun for us, so that's okay.
I don't care about those Marines. I only care about the entertainment value.
Well, there you go. But it's going to be a hatch first from Leenock, as usual. Be pretty surprising if he did anything else, going back to harass that SCV a little bit more. And he could actually potentially kill it. Oh, is he going to get it?
Yes, he does.
Oh, he does get it. Killing Jjakji's SCV. That is actually a pretty big blow. I mean, it doesn't really slow down the barracks too much, but psychologically, that just puts you in a bad mindset when that happens. You're just like, oh, I can't believe I lost that SCV. How could that happen?
And Leenock is actually going to open with an expand into Speedlings as he does build his extractor first, putting up the spawning pool after that. So we can see, of course, Jjakji accumulating a good bit of gas, so he'll be able to move into a factory and thus into reactor at Hellions pretty quickly.
Yep. Indubitably. I heard people say casters say absolutely too much, so I'm just going to say indubitably from now on.
Yes. Apparently I'm the traction caster now, too. So
what?
There we go. Traction caster. Apparently I said traction like a million times yesterday. So
I said that a couple times, too.
I was thinking about finding ways to troll people.
You could
just
also
yell
say
traction
momentum.
over and over again.
Traction.
Yes. What other overly used...
He's going to beat this guy so bad, he's going to be in traction.
Yes. This is... Actually, that's another big one. This is actually insane right now. Artosis, I'm calling you out on that one. This is actually insane right now.
You know, I think at the end of games, casters say GG way too much.
Yes.
You know?
It's true.
I mean, isn't it obvious? We see it on the screen. These casters need to pull together, man. It's embarrassing.
Well, actually, this is amazing. I think he'll find some traction now moving into the mid-game. See if he metagames the crap out of him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, so it will be a reactor Hellion expand from Jjakji, because that is just kind of the standard these days. It's what everybody likes to do. It's very safe. You can also be a bit aggressive with it, deny the creep spread. All sorts of really good stuff if you want to be damaging to your Zerg opponent early on.
Yep, very much so, as the first couple of Hellions are going to make their way out soon. Back on Leenock's side of things, sitting on 2 bases, what he does. I don't expect him to move off of this for a little while. We'll probably see a few more gas geysers here in a bit if he's playing at his Leenockiest.
Leenockiest?
Yes.
Yeah. Flying over the biodome there.
Yes.
Overlord's like, why can't I go in there and just relax? You know?
Yes.
Kind of looks like the Citadel from Mass Effect as well.
It does, as a matter of fact. Where's the council?
And look at this. So smart to have that barracks lifted there. He knows exactly where Leenock is going to send his overlords and gets an early overlord kill. That's 100 gas, or 100 minerals rather, that Leenock would definitely prefer to be spending on something else. Making a few extra Zerglings this time around as well, too. I think he's just kind of really worried about 2 barracks opening from Jjakji, but obviously that's not going to be the case this time. And those Lings running a bit of a counterattack pattern. Looks like the Queens are going to be able to handle the Hellions.
Not just that, but another 12 Lings just popped out right after that as well.
Now that is interesting. So Leenock is indeed doing something a little bit differently than we normally see here. He hasn't done anything like take a second gas yet, Oh, he's actually going to handle those Hellions. Gets one.
Very nice.
And does he get the other one?
It's actually pretty low in health. He's going to find it here in
back
just
at
a
Jakji's
second.
base, though.
Oh, he is going to try and run in, but unfortunately, there's already a couple of Hellions waiting for him, and he's not going to be able to kill those, unfortunately. But
nice
he's got another big round making their way in soon.
Yeah, this is a lot of aggression coming in from Leenock right now. He basically is like, Jakji, I want you to stay in your base and don't come out.
And
I'm
he's
going to kill this mule
just
to make sure you do that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Denies all mining on the next orbital command quite a while, as there are already 26 SCVs out. Jakji is going to be oversaturated very, very quickly.
Yeah, Leenock deciding to play things a little bit differently than he normally does. Always got to be careful with those lings, though. He is putting down a fast third base, which is very un-Leenock-like. That's why we saw that big extra group of Zerglings out to push the Hellions back, hopefully give him a little bit of breathing room. And this is very interesting from Leenock. All right, so look at this. He's making a lot more Zerglings when you would normally be droning, just to make sure that his third base is very safe. Oh, and it's going to be 2-port Hellion, 2-starport Hellion, 2... What am I talking about?
Those are Banshees.
Flying Hellions?
Those would be
terrifying.
Devastating, actually.
I don't want to give Blizzard any ideas here.
Actually,
but
amazing.
Dude, did you see the thing the other day where someone made like a Mutalisk in the unit building thing that could shoot Hellion flames?
Oh, God. The horror.
That's pretty awesome.
So
yeah, it's going to be 2-port Banshee.
Yes, it
Not
is.
2-port Hellion. That doesn't exist.
So these two players know each other very, very well. Obviously, they practiced for 2 weeks explicitly to beat the other guy back at the GSL finals a couple of months ago. So they know each other's playstyle very, very well.
Yep.
And this is a case where we're seeing a very non-traditional game out of both of them. Double-port Banshee versus just insane amounts of links.
This is quite cool. And the 2-port Banshee is going to have Cloak as well, so that'll be extra dangerous for Leenock. But I really like the style that Leenock is trying to do here. He might catch another Hellion.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like, oh, he barely gets it. All right. And going for the Ling upgrades as well, and 3 more gas on the way. So I think this was ideally supposed to be that Ling Infestor Ultra play that we do see quite a bit in ZVT, just not from players like Leenock quite as often. He still does do it every once in a while, but just not quite as often. Is he going to be ready for these Banshees, though? That's the thing. How many Queens does he have out right now?
Just 3.
Okay. He obviously does have Evolution Chambers out, so he can put down Spore Crawlers. So
yes.
We'll see how much damage he ends up taking from this.
We'll certainly find out soon enough, because our first Banshees are on the field. There's a few more coming up after that. Unfortunately, Leenock is... Or, I'm sorry, not Leenock. Jakji is actually quite supply blocked. He's just now starting 2 more supply depots, but he could have easily had 5 Banshees with his attack here in a second.
Cloaking early so that the Overlords don't see them flying in as well. He's going to really get the drop on Leenock, going right away for that Queen, I would guess. And that Queen is going to die so fast. 3 shots from those Banshees kills a Queen.
Yeah, Jakji actually killing a lot of units right now, and he's just going to DPS down the Spore Crawlers before they're ever able to get up. So
4 Banshees coming in now as well for Leenock. This is a lot of damage to handle. There is an Overseer on the way. It's almost finished, but will it be finished in time for anything to stop these Banshees?
Is he even going to have the DPS to be able to take these down as it is? The Spore Crawlers are falling before they ever come up. Leenock is in a lot of trouble now, losing more workers, up to 12 and climbing.
Yeah, no kidding. If he fires at those Spore Crawlers early enough, he can just one-shot them. That is devastating for Leenock. I don't know if Leenock can make it out of this. Cloak is done now, but there's just not a lot of anti-air. Look at that one Spore Crawler, but it's going to get focused down so fast if Jakji pays attention.
Yeah, and looks like both the Queens fall.
He's just going to the third.
He's just going to move away. I've done my damage. We're moving on, and unfortunately, those Spore Crawlers, they're not anywhere near close enough to finishing.
Well, unfortunately, Leenock having to spend so much money on all these Spore Crawlers as well, too, losing 100 minerals each time he doesn't cancel. And, man, this is rough for Leenock. Oh, he's going to lose that Spore Crawler before it even gets burrowed.
I think Leenock's just dead, man.
You know, it's going to be very tough. Now, here's the thing. There are Infestors on the way, so he could potentially maybe fungal them and fungal them over those Spore Crawlers if he's lucky, but that's going to be a GG.
GG.
Yeah, Leenock just taking way too much damage. Very tricky build from Jakji, and it gives NSHoSeo a 3-1 lead.
Unbelievable.